Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jonna and I'm really glad that you are here. Today I'm testing for you the dice from Awaken realms. So story dice on my table. Some time ago I received these dice to test them and the publisher didn't ask for a video on them, but I asked my patrons if they wanted such material, such video, and as you can see they wanted, so here you go. To keep this video short, I'm start testing. However, before I starting, I will tell you separately about each of these dice. So first, Nemesis. This intruder dice is alternative dice replace the noise dice from the game, and this noise dice have an increased probability for a danger score and decreased probability for the silence score. So after using it, it will be even louder and therefore more dangerous. It will be more difficult to survive. The use of this dice in the Nemesis game modified the rules because before making a noise roll using it, a player can draw one action card. On the card of this dice, you can see indicates the percentage distribution of results, indicating the danger is to fall most often. You will see in a moment later in this video whether this coincides with my testing. So next dice, the emotion dice, is designed typical for role-playing games. Its purpose is to determine the emotions of NPCs that are not played by any player but are controlled by the game master in the case of RPG games, or by the computer when it's come to video games. So when you need to quickly determine the emotions, reactions of NPC or the mood of a scene, some situations during your session, you roll such a dice and it solves the matter. So what is the size of this dice? It's 6 different results. Anger, when you get, for example, a character with explosive temper or drunk. Destruction, for example, when a character has a bad life experience. And other emotions, attributes, intentions like scarred, cunning, neutral and friendly. Okay, now the fish. The koi dice is not such much a dice as a bullet. The assumption with it is that there is a higher probability of rolling high scores here. It can be used by the game master if, for example, he wants to reward players for their good role playing or something else. So here we have a hidden 10 numbers and 2 nines fall out of this dice, but we won't find a side with number 1. Inside this dice is louder that stops this dice increasing the result. Although exactly in this case of this dice, quite often during testing is stopped on the side between the results. Perhaps this is the reason for the publisher's decisions to change its shape. However, it will not be balled but a more integral shape. The design is to be related. The next 2 dice are such classic K8 and K12. Here I don't have a card attached with a brief description of its attributes, neither is it yet on the campaign page, so I assume they are such normal dice with interesting design. Finally, the campaign announcement showed 7 types of dice, plus a set of dice with some glitter and various shimmering decoration inside for RPG games. I received only these 5, so only this I test, and in this video I will tell you about them. I can also add here information from the producent that the dice with the cut from Nemesis are supposed to be opposite of the one of the intruder. I mean, by definition, they are supposed to work, or rather be able to roll, with the opposite results. So they are supposed to fall more silence than dangerous results. And how it looks in real, I'm show you in a moment in test. But now let me say 2 more words about the box. I received this one, but I know that there will be more premium wooden boxes to choose from in 2 sides. one larger and other smaller. As standard, the dice are to be packed in some kind of decorative box, but I don't know the detail of what it will be. However, as for this premium version, you will be able to buy them extra. Each of them is have to be some kind of relief or engraving. I mean, something similar to the decoration passed here on my box, and I have to say that fortunately, because this plastic passed somehow didn't like it. Inside the box, each dice is supposed to have a dedicated compartment for it. Now has been used some standard foam to protect them during transport. Okay, on the subject of the box, that's all. Now let's move on the dice themselves. Let's check the weight. Don't worry, I don't stand. To beginning with, for the example, I will weight such ordinary dice to have some point of reference. So as you can see, almost 4 grams and a little over 4 grams a second one, so therefore featherweight. Well, now I move on to the heavyweight. How heavy is in Nemesis board game? You probably know, but how heavy this dice is? As you can see, more than 23 grams, but it's still not the most of this set because emotion dice are heavier than Nemesis. The difference is about as much as the weight of this small classic dice. As you can see, the next dice are already lighter because each under the weight of 20 grams. And now for comparison, the reduced version of the story dice. In a moment I will tell you why I have them doubled. So the emotions in this edition are less than 16 grams, which is about half the weight of the big dice from the same model. Nemesis also lighter by about 10 grams and K8 under 8 grams, so also a half as much as its bigger version. So that is all about the weight. I'm going to roll now. First of all, I have to tell you that treat this test and statistics as a form of fun because their dice are prototypes, so a lot can still change here. And you know, I will do such final tests already on the final version of them. So as the first fish go under the tester's knife, lucky dice. It's supposed to be a lot of 9 results. And as you can see, or maybe not, halfway these dice passed the test. On the one hand, there are indeed a lot of 9 score, but even more wrong results. That is, the dice stopped not indicating a certain value on the side between the results. And this disturbed the whole statistics of the other results. So koi dice go down. I couldn't check how this dice would behave in its natural environment because it didn't perform well in mine. And seriously, this dice model will be redesigned, and this test shown the reason why. Next dice, the regular K12, also went into rotation, and after about 100 rolls, I don't see anything special in the scores. None of the results are significantly different from average, so the dice passed the test. Now K8, and again after nearly 100 rolls, I see nothing abnormal. No result divides to a greater extent for the average, so just like key 12, this dice also passed the test. Okay, the emotion dice was a bit shaky every now and then as it rolled a bit sideways, but this dice also passed the test because there are no major differences between the results. Also for the intruder or Nemesis dice, the assumption of more danger results is not reflected in reality. The danger results are not more than the others, so I repeat the test, and again the intruder rolled over 100 times, and also in the second attempt the results were similar. So time to a quick conclusion. All standard dice pass the test. I mean key 12, key 8 and key 6, I mean emotion dice. Only these specific ones have a problem, and I'm talking about koi dice and the one for Nemesis, so they still need more refinement. And now I will tell you something. When I have already prepared all the video, something like 19%, I will make the tests, videos short. Then unexpectedly I received a package from Awaken Realms along with the information that they are sending a new size of dice, because that one not will be produced after all, and I telling you about 32mm size, so maybe I quote from a publisher. During the campaign, we will propose a size 28, 26 or 24 millimeters. Now we are still testing which will be better when it comes to roll them on the table. So I'm producing here, testing, rolling, recording, and here it's turned out that the producer changed its assumptions. Great. From my perspective, it's not good, right? Because I have to catch up with new videos, shots, change some of them, but for you, it's really good because you can see that someone here is trying to refine the final product. Okay, about my impressions. I can add that the big dice look really cool. They are some atmospheric. I have the impression of using something so uncommon, unique, feeling the mass in the hand, which is nice. Smaller dice are still detailed. You can see on them the attention to detail, but for me they have somewhat lost something of that magic and atmosphere compared to the large 32mm one. However, they are more manageable, more comfortable, they don't bounce as much while rolling. When you bounce the dice against some corner of yourself, you can control them more. Smaller dice also have another advantage. When rolling them on a hard surface, on a table or on a board of some game, I'm not as afraid that dents and defects will appear in the case of 32mm one. Since the big ones are heavier and have sharps and angular edges, so the table, the board or the dice itself might suffer. So I think for safely, it's better to use them in, dice tries, in tries with some padding, preferably, generally on the soft surface. I'm also mentioned that if someone uses a dice tower, they are also more likely to have smaller dice that don't log into them. I have 3 such towers, and only one of them was able to swallow some of the large dice, but it was not easy. However, my other 2 towers were too small for any dice. They all blocked already at the first stage. So to sum up my summary, I think that the dice will appeal to players, especially who like, gadgets, because, what Nemesis fan wouldn't like to have a little intruder rolled up in a bullet, or rather a dice in this edition, which will give them even more than usual in this game. In this prototype version of each dice, as you can see, it has interesting shapes, graphics, or sort of engraving in the dice sides, and it looks very, very good in my opinion. Despite the fact that I'm not a gadgeteer, I had a nice time with them during this test, even with this little Nemesis intruder. Anyway, it's not fate, but each of you who will decide if you want the box with such treasures. I hope that this video of mine will help you to take it. Finally, I'd like to add that no dice, game, furniture or human has suffered in this video. My cats are also fine. What I mean is that I rolled these dice during testing a total of about 1000 times. However, as you can see in some of the photos, there are major chips of the dice. You have to know that I have already received such dice. Perhaps they were from irreal during testing, maybe when rolling on some hard surface, but I don't know exactly because I didn't not inquire. In any case, I didn't notice that anything at my place chipped off of them, but also keep in mind that these are prototype dice, not the final product, so there is still a lot with the appearance, finish, design, balances and randomness that can change. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. That's all for me today. I leave you a link to the campaign in the description below. And if you like this video, it will be great if you leave a like. And now have a great day and see you in next video. Bye bye, guys!